Officially, good morning, everyone. Welcome out to the Options Income Launchpad Sunday Market Insights. My name is Scott, and I will be your host. As always, please remember this is for education and illustrative purposes only. Nothing we do or say is intended to be a recommendation to buy or sell any financial security or product. We are not brokers or advisors, therefore we do not give anything considered personal investment advice. Decisions made should be at your own risk, yada, yada, yada. What are we going to do today? We're going to posture. I'm going to show you a new trick I learned that's going to speed up our use of the AI market posture tool that we're developing together. We'll look at the calendar, sector search. We're not going to search, but we're going to identify if we have the right sectors. The watch list has really been adapted, so we've been deleting some too. So I actually held off on posting the new one. I wanted to get through today because we've been deleting some and adding some. So I will post the new list today for watch list maintenance. We will build our early week opportunity lists. And of course, we will move on to now section 4 of our trading plan. Okay, let me get over here. I just reset the account, so that should be good. Now, for those who may have been new since the beginning, Bob Walker has been with us since almost the very beginning of our group, and is going to have to kind of check out and do some rehab and some things on his own, necessitating that he dial back his trading activities. And so I'm going to unmute him and just let him say a farewell to the group. And Bob, please feel free to post your contact information into the chat for people as well. But one of the originals. Absolutely. Okay, let me see. I don't know why it's not letting me do. Oh, there we go.
I think it did. I think it did. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'm, I've been with the group, like Scott said, since over 2.5 years now. And I have immensely enjoyed it and encourage all of you to stay with it. He's a great coach and very helpful. And I believe the way he does things is the right way to do them. Having said that, I just would like to highlight a couple of things. One, it's very important that you log every trade. That log has been a real guide and help to me. I still struggle with cutting the losses a little short, but they're getting better. I'm getting better at it. So please keep logging them, and if you have questions at the end when you get to the 100 trades and you get that beautiful report, if you have any questions, I'm sure Scott on many times has helped. You just send a copy of it, and he really rings it out for you. So that's my words of encouragement for the group. As Scott said, I'm having health issues myself, which I'll speak to at the end, and possibly save somebody from going through what I'm going through. And I'm also the sole caregiver for my wife, who has very advanced dementia. But we were fortunate enough to have a niece down on her luck who has agreed to move in with us. And I pay her room and board. She helps me out around the house and with my wife. So that's a win-win for both of us. Uh, I want to especially thank Steve for your kind words posted up on Circle this morning. And I know you're listening, but you can't see us. But uh, it's the best friendship that I've formed in the group. But I've also enjoyed many give and takes with Sandy and Price and Miguel and probably others that I've forgotten over the years. And I encourage you, I'm going to post my contact information. And I would encourage you to give me a call if you think I can be of any help. And with that, let me just close with the health warning. Around October 6th, I developed a very familiar remedy symptom that usually goes away on its own in a few days. The nasty little creature called diarrhea. Only this time mine did not stop. I was starting to get so weak that I went to the emergency room on Monday the 13th. They ran a couple of tests and sent me home. And I said, well, I've got this, I've been going for a week. I'm getting weak. I'm probably dehydrated. They said, well, just get on a bland diet and you'll be okay. Well, that did not happen. On Wednesday, the 15th, I had to call 911 and they checked me into the hospital. And I only have one kidney because my other one was taken out when I was age 38 on self-contained cancer. So I was obviously kind of nervous about my kidney, as I should have been, because the kidney has a 5-point scale. 5 being you live on dialysis the rest of your life. When I checked in, I was at a 4. I was just beside myself. I called both my kids. My daughter flew in from LA. My son drove over 5 hours from New York. And I was getting myself prepared to say goodbye to them. But fortunately, over the next 2.5 days, they pumped 18 units of solution into my body. They blew me up like a water balloon. Your normal blood supply is about 6 units. So they put in 3 times the liquid of my entire blood supply in 2.5 days, which thank God saved my kidney. That gave me the will to live anyway. And I stayed in the hospital until they switched me to a nurse rehab on the 28th. And I was planning on spending a week or 10 days or so to recover, help recover. And my insurance company decided they'd send me home in 4, which I appealed and got one more day, 5. But the good news is that I am recovering. Every day I see a little more strength, and I hope to be completely back, within a month. So I certainly have a lot to be thankful for this Thanksgiving for sure. And the reason I'm going into such detail is that if any of you, as age progresses on us, if any of you get extended diarrhea, take it seriously. It is a killer. It dehydrates you. It takes your electrolytes out, and your kidneys start suffering. And I was very close to the point where the kidney actually makes a decision to either keep trying or let the other parts of the body take over. And it always gives itself up. So that's all I have to say, and I wish you all a lot of luck in your trading. Just remember to keep your head down when that lawnmower comes. Thank you very much.
I've been sitting here yapping away to you guys, and I had no audio. Thank you, Keith. I was gonna just keep on going. First of all, you missed my new trick. I'll tell you about my new trick for pasting. But long-term analysis, I told you that I'm gonna let it go down to here. Then if it bounces, it has to bounce above the red line. And then it can maintain the 1.5 score. It'll maintain the 1.5 score. As far as last week, or actually ChatGPT diminished last week. No. The week, yeah, it was last week. It was a 1.25. It went to a 1. I am a 1.5, and I'm going to stay at 1.5. I'm curious if it drops again. It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Unchanged. So I was unchanged at 1.5. It's unchanged at 1. Continues to hold in the upper half of the red rising channel. The slope remains intact, supported by the 50-week. Failure to extend reinforces a mild deceleration rather than a renewed push. Structure remains bullish, though momentum is pausing near resistance. Okay. We both stayed the same. That's fair. That is fair. Let's go short term. Will be next. So I stayed 1.5. Where is everybody else with the long-term analysis? Let me know. Now, last week I dropped from a 1.5 to a 1.25. ChatGPT dropped from a 1.25 to a 1. This week, on the short-term analysis, So last week I dropped mine because there was a we failed to hold the breakout. This week, I'm thinking of taking mine to a 1. Because even this is not holding up, right? This was our 1 score. And you'll notice it failed to get to the top there, so lower high. I mean, it really feels like it's showing more of a score like this, and it's barely, you can see it's expanding a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to drop mine to a 1. Now, here's my new trick. I learned this. Windows Shift S, and it brings up this little although, hold on a second. I need to move this out of the way. It brings up this little snippet tool so that I don't have to copy and move. Whatever I highlight goes straight to my clipboard, and then I come in here and paste it. Oh, it's so much faster. This week's chart, and this is 11, 16, 25, go. So I'm going to lower my score. Sandy already knew about it, so now I have a little bit of a bone to pick with Sandy for not telling me about it. I may forgive you, Sandy, but I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. Time will heal all wounds. So I dropped mine to a 1. I'm curious if, since ChatGPT already was a 1, it sees it weaker or the same. Weaker or the same. Let's go back and see. Okay, so they stayed the same. It stayed the same. Short-term trend remains mildly bullish, stabilizing after another dip. Buyers defended that level, produced a rebound, keeping the uptrend structure intact. Continues to oscillate. Okay. Oh, I love what it's doing. A sustained move above 680 would renew the 125. A break below 665 would shift us more towards 0.75 or lower. So, okay, interesting. I dropped to a 1, and I caught up with ChatGPT, who was already a 1. Kudos to ChatGPT for getting there sooner. I think the same thing is going to happen here. I'm pretty sure that I am going to drop to a minus 0.25 on volume. Let's get to the volume. Let's get back here. 1 month daily. How much extra space is there? Okay, that's fine. Let me get my fancy tool. This time we will include volume, but not anything else. Now, you can see we have a sell and a buy at the back at the beginning. Those cancel each other out. Then we have a tie, a tie, a tie, a sell, a tie. Tie goes to the buyers. So I have 4 ties and 1 sell. Actually, I feel like that can hold at a 0. I'm keeping mine at 0. I thought I was going to drop this. Tie goes to the buyers. So if this wasn't here, we would be like, oh, this is a positive score. Slightly in favor of the sellers goes to a tie. So, Yeah, I'm actually surprisingly gonna keep it. This is where this is the start. This is the end. Ever so slightly upswinging on our line of sanity. The vast majority of the price action exists north of the line of sanity. A little concerning, but yeah, I'm actually going to keep mine the same. Anyone else want to weigh in on that one? I'm very curious. This week's chart 11, 14, 25. Boom. Boom. Agreed, Steve C says. Okay. Yeah, I thought this was going to get worse, but this seems okay. This looks okay to me. And ChatGPT says, "Oh, well, they moved back. Oh no, they're wrong. Shows a buy day early in the week and a sell day. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. I don't think it's. I don't know if it's reading the. I don't know if it's reading the boxes and the letters, but it knows what to do, and it's looking at it. The offsetting nature, along with moderating volume around the 20-day, points to balanced conviction. Okay, I'm gonna leave it as is. Yeah, we're both a zero. Balance restored. Okay, I didn't think it necessitated last time going down, so I'm gonna stay a zero. And ChatGPT is moving up to a zero. Interestingly, so I think that's just a little, matter of refinement. Where's everybody else on this one? Is anyone still a negative? Let me know. And we'll keep going here. Okay. Agreed. All right. Major market assessments. Let's get into those. Where are you? Mucking it up. Got it. Let me see here. Okay. Chart number 1. Let's get this dialed in. And we're going to say looks good except for the small caps have dipped. They were in a leading spot, trying to pop into a leading spot. Now they're back down. So a little bit of concern there. Let's go in this week's charts for analysis. 11, 16, 25. Okay, that's the first one. Let's pop back in. We'll take this down to 133. Make sure it's all the way over. We lost some ground from the Russell here. Right? We lost some ground from the Russell. That's a little bit concerning. Let's get this dialed in. So my concern is this is going to drop to a 0.75. I mean, if the Russell drops too much, maybe even more. Let's move this to 66. Let's make sure this is all the way over. We'll add this in here. And you can see the NASDAQ is barely hanging on. We started, the Russell has dropped out of a leading position at all. And we're starting to see a little bit of a gain by the Dow. It's not in a leading position, but it's gaining. So while we survived dropping 1/4 point on volume, I think I'm dropping mine to 1/2. It was on the cusp. I kept it at a 1. It was close to a 0.75 last time. Now I'm like, maybe it should have gone to a 0.75 and then dropped on down to a 0.5. This doesn't look good. This was like one of the strongest areas. Let's take this down to 22. And if there was any doubt at all where you're like, I'm tied, I might move this to either. So let's say we were tied. Let's say I was thinking I'm on the fence between 0.75 and 0.5. I was leaning towards 0.5. I wouldn't even have described myself. But let's just say I was on the fence at 0.75 to 0.5. What would this do? It would tell me to push it to 0.5. Right? It would tell me to push it to 0.7 to 0.5, because right now what we're seeing here is the Dow pushing into a leading position and the Russell really kind of falling off quite dramatically. So I'm going to take it to a 0.5. That's kind of a big pop right there. I put all of this on volume. Shoot. Okay, hold on a second. Ah, shit. I got to start over real fast. Sorry, guys. But it'll be fast. Let's go back out to 200. Can I explain why 0.75? Because I think it's dropped enough and is demonstrative that we have almost completely lost small caps. You can see here on this first one, small caps dropped all the way to the bottom. There's no lead at all. So there's the first one. Then we drop this down to 133. What happened on 133? Again, small caps fell out of the leading position. And not dropped to the bottom here, but definitely there's no lead. Let me go back here. And then we drop this down to 66 days. And you can see that we see an increase in the Dow and a decrease in the small caps. We do have NASDAQ still holding on the whole time. And the NASDAQ can hold it at a 0.5. But we don't have anywhere where the small caps are in a leading position. So due to that fact, we've got to basically bounce them completely out of the analysis. That's why I am going to a 0.5. Let's get this to 22. And this confirms it. If you were, and this is where I was saying, like, if you were like kind of in a tie position, you're like, oh, maybe I'll go this way or maybe I'll go that way. This to me is like, you can see Dow moving to the top, small caps moving to the bottom. And I think you'll notice too, we'll go look at this snippet paste tool is amazing. It's changed my life in a matter of a week. Boom. So I'm dropping my score to a 0.5. Boom. Pretty big drop. And ChatGPT still thinking about it. Okay. So ChatGPT says NASDAQ continues to lead decisively, has slipped below the 133, confirms the overall structure remains risk on, with growth indices still dominant, still laggard. However, the separation has widened, signaling some selective risk preference rather than full throttle broad participation. Market tone remains risk on, led by large tech and large cap growth, though participation breadth is thin modestly. Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm actually kind of happy that it is ahead of me in one area. I feel like it's really starting to get dialed in to the overall analysis. Okay. Okay. Next piece here. Yeah, we're doing all right. This is faster than I thought it was going to be with this new fun tool that I love playing with, obviously. Let me reload this. Let me make sure this is pushed all the way over. Technology, obviously, still leading. Let's get everything in that we need. Boom. Let's this time make sure we go to the right analysis. Sector rotation. This week's charts 11, 16, 25, and first one's on. Okay. Very exciting. Let's keep going. First time, do we have? So I'm looking at how I can share this. It's very difficult. It's all built in my own little project, but I think there's going to be a way that I can. So yes, I'm looking at that, but we'll see what that looks like. So okay. Okay, let me get back to it. Right now, it's just kind of fun for us all to be playing with it. What does it say? Well, we still have technology on top. We have utilities there. We have comm services and industrials hanging out close by. Energy's trying to move. Materials at the bottom. Staples at the bottom. So it's kind of a mixed bag right from the beginning, but mixed with tech on top. Tech on top can give me 1/4 point, right? If that's all I have is that, consistently on the top. That can certainly give me a quarter of a point. Okay. Let's keep going. Not quite. It is here. So here is the 133. And we'll grab this. We'll put this here. And I'm still trying to hang on to a quarter of a point. Who's in second? Discretionary communication services. So they're loitering near, but they're not in a leading position. You can see healthcare's made a surge. Industrials are kind of... So there's some things that are lurking down there, but nothing... Oh, God, I love this snippet tool. Look at how fast. I mean, it's saving me so much time. You have no idea how much I love this snippet tool. Did I post the second one in? I did. Okay. Let's drop down to 66 days. 66 days. Healthcare on top, which is odd, but technology still hanging around. Now energy's moving up in there. Utilities is moving up in there. I don't know. I mean, it's still there, but it's got some enough discretionary well below. The market's at 4.5 and discretionary's at 0.5 and comm services is at 0.5 and industrials is at break even. And so I'm going to take this to a 0. If it was by itself holding on, but it's not holding on, it's getting swarmed a little bit here. Let me snippet this thing. There you go. Healthcare is definitely expensive, Bob, that's for sure. Okay. Boom. Lastly, let's go to the 22. What does the 22 say? And you can see that if you were on the fence with should I lower my score to a 0, this would say yes, because on the 22, technology is with the market. With the market, but not ahead of the market. Who's ahead of the market? Energy, healthcare. It's not super defensive, but it's definitely, kind of a mixed bag perspective. It does feel rotating, doesn't it, Press? It does feel like it's rotating. Let's bring this over. Let's take that picture. Let's put you in here for analysis and ready, go. Meanwhile, I am going to drop mine to a 0. What would make it more defensive? If I saw utilities and staples, John. Utilities and utilities and staples. We're really not seeing those there yet. Where are you? You can see utilities is down here. Natural gas and toilet paper. Staples is down here. So, good one, Press. Okay. So yeah, I have dropped mine down to a 0. So it's very interesting because as of right now, I've dropped a point and ChatGPT is staying exactly the same. So whether that means we needed to catch up and it got there early or it's time to catch up, either way, we're getting to the same place and it's an interesting divergence, convergence going on, in my opinion. Okay. 0.25. Okay. Again, I'm going to leave it. Let's get its logic here. The 66 shows a recovery. Technology is reasserted. I don't feel like that's what the 66 day shows. Reassess. I think you were off on colors on 66. I don't see strength in comm services or discretionary. I'm going to ask it one more time. Let's see. I'm not trying to change its process, but I'm like, well, if you're saying you saw strength on the 66, let's go back to that. Let's go back to the 66. Yeah, I mean, you can see consumer discretionary is there. Sorry. Consumer discretionary is here. It's down here. It's down. It's down. These are all down. Let's see what it says. Discount double check. I'm going to pull up. Let's go ahead. I'm leaving mine where it is. I feel comfortable with my score. Let's go to the VIX. And then we'll get to our watch list. Oh, I'm also going to mention, and I think Glenn mentioned this, but while everyone's still here and it's thinking, our powers that be partners reached out and said, "Hey guys, we have a couple of typically not opened coaching slots opened. Our personal coaching crew, Glenn is on that crew." Is typically booked out months in advance and with a waiting list. But they said we have a couple of slots. And my understanding is one of them may already have been taken. Glenn asked about it and a couple of people said, yeah, I'm interested. And I believe one of the spots already got taken. So there may only be one spot left. Though what we're looking to do is create a waiting list out of this crew to give them. But essentially, what they're allowing us to do is give a discounted 1v1 coaching package that is specifically oriented around developing your trading plan. So it's an 8 session plus 4 extra additionals, an 8 session package that focuses on each section of the trading plan. So if you wanted to walk through with somebody, we will, we're kind of opening that up. Okay, John, I marked you down. Absolutely. I will have Phil give you a call. So perfect. Let me know if anyone else is. The investment is $3,000. And it's normally a good amount higher than that. So that's my understanding. I'm pretty sure that's what the number is. If I'm wrong, don't hold it against me. But I'm pretty sure that's what that is. So if you'd like to take a look and we'll, if you're like, I don't know if this is the right time. We said, hey, this would be a great thing if we ever have those spots that open up. Like I said, a lot of times we're 2-3 months out on the coaches. They're pretty booked out. But John, I'll definitely have Phil reach out to you and give you the rundown. Okay, let me go back. I had to do that because I know I'll forget later. Glenn's better at remembering things like that than I am. Already would, yeah. I'm not sure why this thing is, boy, look at this. He's really going through it. Come on now. Thought for 2 minutes. Oh, very helpful. Good. I know, right, Press? This one is like, really thinking about it. I don't know that I've ever seen one go this long. We stumped it good. You're right to call that out. Come on now, give it to me. Oh, man. I'm going to have to reload it. It'll give me the answer though. I've had this happen to me before. Okay. Still said 0.25. Tech remains a strong growth leader. Healthcare and energy, a mix of defensive earnings visibility, classic risk on. Not leading, their mid-pack. Staples is the worst, and utility, so it's not defensive either. Mixed but slightly risk-on tilt. Still a modestly bullish rotation. Okay, fair. I asked for a second opinion. It went through it clearly in immense detail. So 0.25 it is. 0.25 it is. Interestingly, I'm down a point. And it's up a quarter point as we move into the VIX, where it's much lower than I am. I definitely see. So the VIX held this high, in my opinion. It tested around the same highs. It held around the same highs. But this is a higher low. I'm definitely dropping mine a quarter of a point. I'm down to a 0.5, barely hanging on to some bullishness here. Barely hanging on to some bullishness as we struggle to hold below 20. Let me get ChatGPT. Oh, nope. Let me get ChatGPT to take a look at this one. I don't know why it keeps giving me funky. Okay, now we have it. Here's the VIX. Boom. Boom. This week's chart. 11, 16, 25. Paste. Go. Ready, go. All right. So I finished up at a 3.5 down a 1.25. Now, last week, I only dropped a quarter, whereas ChatGPT dropped a full point. And this time I dropped 1.25, and it has gone up a quarter of a point, though it may take its, I don't know, I think its VIX is going to have to stay the same. So very interesting. And if you read later today, if you read the email or the post that I put, I actually am including ChatGPT's like analysis of it. Like, oh, what does this all mean? Comparing the group number to my number. So, yes, us forward thinkers incorporating ChatGPT into the mix. All right, let's get to the watch list here. Let's see if it had to think long or it got the answer quickly on this one. A 0. The VIX continued to climb. Down a quarter from last week's 0.25. Wait a second. Sure enough. Okay. So it's a 0. I love it. I'm a 0.25. It's a 0. Press is a 0.25. I gotta tell you, we got rid of the whole, hey, let's put our predictions up here, and we replaced it with this beautiful AI model that is getting better and better. 5 weeks in, I think this was definitely its best week scoring. Anyone else want to weigh in on that? I feel like it's kind of finding its way now. As far as like not that it's scoring the way we want it to, that it's scoring in a way that's analyzing what needs to be analyzed. I'm a 3.5. It's a 3. We're holding on to bullishness. We really need to see some recovery and bounce. A little bit of extra caution. Couple things to think about. We're still not really getting data yet. We're hoping that the data comes soon. This week's economic calendar. Empire State Manufacturing, that will come out on the 18th. We've got data that's unlikely to come out still. It looks like okay. So Thursday, we're going to get September's employment report. And the expectation is not even there yet. So we're expecting to get, we had 22,000 in August. We have no idea what September's numbers are because we were shut down in October. And so we're just sort of catching up here. So that'll be interesting. Thursday, and then we have jobless claims coming out. And then Friday, I think we were supposed to get PCE, but that's going to get kicked. Friday, we have just some Fed speak, but nothing much else. But hey, it's starting to come again. Then the following week, we'll get the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. We'll get GDP, PCE, personal income. So very, very interesting. Now, remember, next week I'll be with you guys on Monday and Tuesday. So we'll meet tomorrow morning. We'll meet Tuesday morning and Tuesday night. And then I'm going to take the rest of the week off. You'll be with Glenn, and I am going to go have my back splayed and fixed, hopefully. So, just a reminder that I will be out of pocket for that, and hopefully back on Monday, where basically an hour a day I'll be sitting up in bed doing some market analysis with you guys. I think I'll be able to handle that. So, all right, let's get to my neck. Sorry, it's my neck. It's my my C3 is getting popped up. My 4, 5, 6, and 7 are gonna get expanded. Thank you very much, those of you wishing me luck. I appreciate that. All right, let's get to the watch list. Yeah. Apparently I have 0 spinal fluid in my neck. Like literally, they're like, see this here? This is where you should have some white areas that represent spinal fluid, and you don't have any. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Graylin. Thank you, Bob. Okay. Let's get going. Really, it's best wishes to my wife having to put up with me for laying around in bed for a few weeks. Apple still looks fine. I'm going to still keep AMKR on my list. Let me put my date on here. I'm going to write a little smaller. AMKR, still okay. Amazon, still okay. We would love to see Amazon bounce and help. APH, still okay. And help consumer discretionary move back into favor. ASX. So we've had a lot of pullbacks Are we going to have stabilization and bounces? That's the question we're looking to answer. AVGO, ooh, it barely held the 50, but I'm feeling a little bit like not on that one. AXP looks great. We would love to see some of the stronger financials like AXP or BAC start to give us some potential. I would say BE held, but it's fighting. It's fighting. Citi still holding on. Caterpillar looks good still. I mean, look at our list. We're only in the C's. We have a lot of good stuff. CIEN still looks good. Plenty of things to trade. CLS held up. I gotta tell you, man, it's actually a little bit better than I thought. Coherent. Somebody traded that one already. Looks good. Credo, I'm going to hold off on that one. A little too far under the 50. Cisco, I like, but we've got to give it some time to recover, to come back down to earth post earnings. Delta is a no. Diamonds. I actually had diamonds on my list last week, and it had a good move. I'm going to put it on again this week. The large caps seem to be doing pretty well. Ford is holding up. Not for a new trade, maybe for a new trade. Still showing some potential. Fox looks good. Communication Services, that's a leader there. First Solar is a yes to me. We had some new ones from the technology that included things like First Solar and Fiber. Both of these look quite strong. So one new thing that I'm doing, I closed this one. Some people may have held it. It's still holding support if you held. Gold looks all right again. Gold and both silver, both look pretty good. GM looks fine. Google looks good. I would love Google to help communication services figure some things out. Oh, this watch list is actually quite strong, you guys. Goldman still looks good. GTX looks fine. It's like our whole list is setting up for a trade. Howmet looks good. IBM looks fine. I'm not going to run out of room. Intel, no. IWM, no. Johnson Controls, yes. JCI. So the chips are struggling. Lumentum looks good. Sandy, weren't you trading a little bit of this? Lumentum, LITE? Let me know. LRCX, Lam Research. It's a maybe. I got a new pen and I don't like the way it writes. Macy's. It's time to water the bonsai. Don't forget that, of course.
This is a reminder. Water the bonsai.
Water the bonsai. Macy's, yes. Our year-to-date posture is 3.26. Last year was 5.73. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. MasterCard, no. Meta, no. Morgan Stanley, yes. Microsoft, no. Micron, maybe. Netflix is a big fat no. About to split, though. NVIDIA, I'm a no. Was thinking about that one, but it never really materialized. Next, it's kind of a big one. I'm going to say no there. PDD, I'm going to say no there. Big gap down, earnings coming up. PLTR, no. QQQ, the real. I like the real. The real. Roku, no. Ross Stores. I'm gonna leave Ross off because of earnings for this week. RTX kind of flat, actually. Silver is a yes for me. SanDisk is a yes for me. Snowflake, no. It's kind of broken down a little bit. SoFi, no. A little too sideways. STX is a yes for me. Looks quite strong. Seagate Technologies, looking good. Teradyne is a yes. TJX, yeah, it's got earnings, so let's hold off on that one. Tesla's a no. TSM is a no. Uber, no. Wayfair, whoops. Wayfair is a yes. WBD, I still like, but I like Fox better. Fox A is stronger, but I'll put that on. WDC looks good, like Seagate Technologies. That's strong. Walmart is a no. Okay. Well, let's take a look. We're in the W's. That's a good time. Yeah. Welltower. It's a REIT. Which means it probably pays pretty decent dividends too. But yes, I would say strong, but need a little bit of time for that to pull back. I like it. It's a good list. We've got a good list here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we've probably got 25, 30 stocks. That's a bullish list, even though we're still just kind of hanging on to our bullishness here. We are hanging on to our bullishness here. We do have a good list. Lastly, before we leave, I only have the sample. We are working on section 4. We are halfway through the last loop. Section 4, portfolio heat. Portfolio heat. What's the most amount of risk you're going to have at any given time? Trade risk. What's the amount of risk you have for any individual trade? Number of trades. How many are you going to have on based on portfolio heat and trade risk? How are you going to make risk adjustments? How are you going to let your market posture influence your risk levels? What are your tsunami indicators? How are you going to hedge? And lastly, when are you going to take a break? If you haven't looked at it, make sure you do to look at the sample, but go in there, get that defined. Let's get risk management in place. Okay. Yeah, I'm very hopeful that I'll be here next Sunday. I'm very hopeful that I'll be here next Sunday, but we'll see what happens with that one. 5 days, that should be fine. I should be fine. I might be in bed doing it from bed, laying down, but anyways. All right, I took 10 extra minutes of your time. Thank you, everybody, for that. I appreciate it. Bob Walker, we love you. We hope that everything goes well for you from here. You know how to access the group. You can just jump in anytime you want. So great to see everyone. Have a wonderful week, and as always, happy trading.